Namaste everyone and very good morning to you all. Such a pleasure this morning. We have amongst us Dr. Adizes. I would call him Guru of Management. He has many tricks which are not spoken, not written, but he delivers based on his personal experience, personal intuitions. However complex the protocol may be, he'll dissect it and simplify it for any organization, be it a college or university, be it an industry, be it government, be it a spiritual institution, or be it even a family. His principles are, as they say, mind-blowing. One has to get a knack of it, understanding it, and I also highly recommend some of you may be interested in getting to know this methodology, Dr. Adizes' methodology. It will be worthwhile if you are in the field of management. If you are a game changer, then I would say take up this course. So we'll have a zalak or a trailer of his talk today. It is upon his request, and also I always want to listen to him because he has very refined ideas of everything that he speaks. You watch his words and his style and his attitude, you'll know a lot. So let's listen to him now. Welcome, Dr. Adizes.
Namaste and Jai Bhagwan to all of you. Thank you, Master, for giving me this opportunity to share with you some experiences, some thoughts, some insights that I've been developing over 50 years, working with companies, with prime ministers, with people. What is it all about? It's about change. I would say nothing new if I say there is change. Change has been going on forever. From the Big Bang, maybe even before that. And it will go forever. So what? Whenever there is change, there are problems. Why problems? Because what is change? Something new. And then when you're confronted with something new, you have to decide what to do about it. It's like coming to an intersection in a foreign country, something new, and now you have to decide, do I go left, do I go right, do I go back, what do I do? Some people cannot make a decision. They say, I don't know what to do. Uncertainty, I don't have enough information. I'm not going to decide. Well, you just decided. What did you decide? To stay where you are. And maybe that's the worst decision you can take. Why? Because even if you are on the right road, even if you're comfortable, everything is good, I'm on the right road. If you don't move, a truck might come from behind and run you over. Why? You are not changing. You say, I'm fine. I'm not going to decide, I'm not going to go left, I'm not going to go right, I'm going to stay where I am. But the world is continuous change. The world is not stopping. The world is not saying, since you are not changing, nobody will change. We will all wait until you change. That's not going to happen. We need to change. Because there is change. But there is a problem now. Something new is happening that did not happen in the past. And it is the change is accelerating. The world is going faster and faster and faster. With new technologies, tremendous changes in medicine, changes in technology, changes, social changes, political changes. So what's happening? As change is accelerating, what is accelerating? Problems. If our grandparents were poor but relatively happy, we in the modern world have a better standard of living, but lower quality of life. Why? Too many problems, too much stress, too many decisions to make, and people are falling apart. It's called stress. The biggest disease of the modern world is depression. Too many people don't know what to do because the world is changing too fast and they don't know what to do. So I asked myself the question, what to do? How do you handle change? Well, you need to do two things. First, you have to decide what to do. You have to decide. But decisions are not enough. Many of us decide, so we decide. Many of us, especially me, decide to go on a diet, so I decided to go on a diet. Or I decided to go meditation, so I decided. Deciding is not enough. You have to implement the decision. And success is not really in the decision, do you know? Success is in the implementation. Do you implement your decisions? But now there is a difficulty. What is a difficulty? In life, making a good decision, especially in change, and always being right, always making the right decision, never making a mistake. Good luck. It does not happen. If you know the Old Testament, even God makes mistakes. He was very upset with the world because people were not righteous. So he brought the flood. For 40 days it was raining. God killed everybody to teach us a lesson to be righteous. And then God said, I made a mistake. I cannot make people righteous. Do you hear? God admits he's helpless with us. The God that created everything, the most powerful thing, is helpless with people. Cannot make us righteous. And also God is forgetful. He says, next time I start the rain, just to remember to stop making the same mistake again, I bring the rainbow to remind me to stop. Look how human is God. He admits he's helpless. He admits he's forgetful. So who are we to be more than God? Never to make a mistake. So the first thing is humility. So we are not perfect. Nobody is perfect. So if nobody is perfect, does it mean that the whole world will be badly managed? We will always make mistakes? No. What we need is a complementary team to work together. I am not perfect. You are not perfect. But together, we can be perfect. Why? What I am weak in, you are strong in. And what you are weak in, I am strong in. Like this wedding I just observed now. If you look at it, all marriages are a complementary team. You always say, my spouse is different. Why did you marry somebody who is different? To complement you. Together, as a family, we are better than being alone. That's why when you introduce, at least in the Western society, your spouse, you say, may I introduce you to my better half? Why is she a better half? Because she is better in what you're weak. And she will say, no, he is my better half. Together, we're better off. It's not only in a marriage, also in a company. If any one of you is a businessman, you want to have a complementary team. You want to have a team that works together. Look at this hand. Do you see my hand? If you go to any church, I don't know about India, but I've seen this, by the way, in Delhi, at the entrance to the airport, when you go through the passport control, they have sculptures like this. The thumb is touching a different finger. You maybe not realize it, but it's symbolic. It's not just a sculpture for me, not. Look at my hand. You go to any church and you will see the saints standing like this. And in the Middle East, it's called the Hamsa. Women carry it on their chest as a jewelry, put it on the door at the entrance to the house. What is it? You know what it's telling you? Be different, different fingers. Together. Be different together. Some religions, some political ideologies say, be together, but the same. Don't you dare to be different. If you are different, Siberia. If you are different, we are Inquisition. Look at my hands. We are all the same together. This hand is paralyzed. Those ideologies paralyze us. Nothing grows in a desert. Sameness. Everything grows in a jungle. It's called ecology. Differences together. It's nice, but it's not reality because of change. Over time, these fingers open up. Why? We are different. So why does it open up? Why the unity breaks down? Because we are different, there is going to be conflict. We think differently. We are different. And what happens in marriages, what happens in companies, what happens in countries, they start falling apart over time. There is another source of conflict, not only the decision making. In order to make a decision, because we are different, we are going to be in conflict. You want this, I want that, you want this. You think this way, I think that way. You want fast, I want slow. You want everything, I want little. Welcome to the real world. Conflict. There's another source of conflict. It's on the implementation side. So you have conflict in the decision because we are different, and there is conflict on the implementation side. Why? Because in order to implement something, you need the cooperation of other people. You are not in a vacuum. You need the cooperation of your neighbors. You have the cooperation of the people in your company. You need the cooperation of your children. You need cooperation. In order for people to cooperate, there must be common interest. We are together, we have common interest. Well, guess what? There is no common interest. Don't hold your breath. It changes. Even in a marriage, we started together and things happen. There is no common interest. I have no common interest. I have a conflict in my head, right here, 6 centimeters from each other. My brain tells me, don't eat that cake. 30 seconds on your lips, lifetime on your hips. Don't eat that cake. And my taste bud says, eat it, eat it, eat it. And I have a conflict right here. Life is conflict. You want to sleep, but there is work to do. You want to go on vacation, but conflict. Now hear me well. The more change, the more problems, the more conflict. The world is falling apart. Yes, the world is falling apart because of the rate of change. There is more crime than ever before, more divorces than ever before, more diseases than ever before. We have diseases today medically that we never knew before. What to do? Serious question. What to do? We as people are falling apart. High rate of change. So it is destructive. Conflict can be destructive. Does not have to be. I ask myself the question, why Yugoslavia, a country that does not exist anymore, fell apart? Why Soviet Union fell apart? And look at Switzerland. They should fall apart. French, Italian, and Germans together in one country. That should be a disaster. That country should have fallen apart. It does not. I look at one marriage, they have conflict, but at the end of it, they love each other even more. Not because of the conflict, in spite of the conflict. Wow. In another marriage, they're ready for divorce. What is the difference? Why this marriage is Switzerland and this marriage is Yugoslavia? What's the difference? Here is a difference. Let's start from the beginning. Why change creates problems? Why? Because everything in this world is a system. You, as a human being, you are a system. And a system, by definition, has subsystems. And the subsystems have subsystems. Everything is. Part of everything else, bigger and bigger. You are a subsystem of your marriage. Your marriage is a subsystem of the community, community of the country, country of the globe. A company has subsystems, marketing, sales, production, finance, human resources. When there is change, the subsystems do not change together. Some change faster than others. For instance, your heart can be 18 years old and your kidney is already dying. My case. I lost my kidney. Changes faster. If you drink too much, your liver will go faster. They don't change together. In a company, marketing changes fast, production slower, finance, accounting, forever. People change. The most difficult is to change people. Because of that, the system develops cracks, gaps. It's called disintegration. Things fall apart. Change causes things to fall apart. As we get older, we fall apart. An old car is falling apart. If disintegration is the cause of all problems, what is the solution? Integration. Integration. And now the question is, how do you integrate? Why was Yugoslavia disintegrated? And Switzerland, in spite of having all the ingredients to be disintegrated, is integrated. What's the difference? To make a long story short, because I have 26 books, I'm not going to talk now for 26 hours. I'll give you the bottom line. We are different. You think differently than I. We are different. We are falling apart. How will we not fall apart? If we respect each other. And what does it mean to respect? I respect your difference. You don't have to be like me. You're Italian, it's fine. I'm French, it's fine. You don't have to be like me. You're a Muslim, fine. I'm a Christian, fine. You're a Hindu, fine. We don't have to be the same. I respect your difference. Why? Because I learn from your difference. You don't learn from people that are like you. They are boring. There is nothing to learn. You learn from people who disagree with you. Now you say, oh, why disagree with me? What can I learn from you? So what makes conflict on the decision side positive causes integration if there is mutual respect. I accept your difference because I can learn from it. And you accept my difference because you can learn from me. And on the other side, conflict of interest, how do we make it positive? We have a conflict of interest. What you want, I don't want. What I want, you don't want. Now what the hell do we do? There is an expression, I think, in most languages that say, life is give and take. A good marriage is a give and take. We have a conflict of interest, but it's more important to you. We'll do it your way, not a big deal. Next time we'll do it my way. Doesn't have to be always my way. Doesn't have to be always your way. Give and take. Then I was lecturing in Turkey, and an executive came to me and says, Dr. Adizes, in Turkish, we don't say give and take. We say take and give. Oops, I got it. When you give, eventually it will come back. You trust. When you say, first I take, then I see what I want to give. there is no trust. So what makes conflict of interest positive if there is mutual trust? Do we trust each other? So how do you integrate if there is mutual trust and respect? Not good enough. Now I'm going to come to heartfulness. That's why I love this mission with all my heart. I learned a lot from Chariji, a lot. I thank you. What is the utmost, absolute integration? Love. Love is not give and take. You just give. You don't take your children to play somewhere and feed them because they're going to give it back to you. You do it because you love them. In the giving is a taking. In the giving is a taking. You enjoy them when they're laughing and happy. That's your happiness. You're not waiting for something later on. It's instantaneous. When you love, you don't think, you don't make accounting, you don't do cost-value relationship. How much am I giving? Am I getting it back? Did they return it back to me? None of that. Love is absolute. And love solves all problems. So what's the solution to the world that's falling apart? Love. That's why, Master, all of you preceptors, you have a big job to save the world from falling apart. To save marriages, save companies. And I believe India has a role to the world. Somebody has to be the beacon to the world. Somebody has to spread the message to the world that's falling apart. India has that role. Unfortunately, you're falling apart too. I come from the West and everybody's saying, what's the future of the world? The world needs love. And what is integration? Integration through the heart, something bigger than us. And what is yoga? The word yoga is integration, unity. India has a message for the world. So the trick is not to stop change. The trick is to make change to be constructive. And that we can do with love. Thank you very much.